Thanks for joining Sing Squad. I'm your host and political and cultural critic Sharron with two R's. And I'm joined today with my co-host, Miss Kennis, and you're listening to Seen and Heard Podcast. Hello, Miss Kennis. How are you? And your pretty earrings. I love your earrings. You always have the prettiest earrings.
Thank you. Appreciate that. I am indeed a earring diva. Thank you so much for having me.
So just so any of the listeners know out there, so you come across some really nice, different, eccentric looking earrings, you can contact us so we can get them to Miss Kennis if you like. Also, if you would like to support us in our content, please click the links in the description box. Go to our Buy Me a Coffee VIP membership page and join our community, or you can also make a one-time donation. Also, please don't forget to thumbs up the video. That helps with the algorithm. Comment and share. We will greatly, greatly appreciate it. If you have a story you'd like to share with us, express yours or hashtag Sing so we can find you and we will feature your story on future broadcasts. So let's get started. I want to start off, and Miss Kiddis, we'll get to your thoughts on the other side of this video. But I want to start off with a little corporate news media annoyance and pet peeve of mine. How the news media, which of course we know why the news media continues to normalize Trump, his shenanigans. Trump is a felon. Okay, we're going to keep saying that because that's what he is. He cannot travel to 38 countries. And I think I've mentioned it before, how people aren't really, thanks to the media, no thanks to the media, that they cover him and make him seem normal, which nothing about him or his regime is normal. He cannot travel to 38 countries because he is a felon and they have laws that they are going to follow, unlike our country, and he will not be able to come in. So that's why, like, he's throwing these little fits and tantrums about banning other countries, and that's why Zelensky had to come over, and all the most other leaders, which, naturally they do have invites as well, but this is a different circumstance. He's a felon and he cannot go into 38 countries. So I'm going to play this video, and I want to get your thoughts.
Are you sure you're up? Because I see a message that says trying to reconnect.
Oh, okay. You're fine. I think you're frozen a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm going to play this video.
Our president is on house arrest, and nobody's talking about it. Nobody's addressing it. Like, we see all of these leaders from different countries coming to the White House to meet with Trump. And the White House is presenting it as, everybody's coming to meet with the president because he's important and they know they want to work out deals. No, that's not why. They're coming to meet with Trump because Trump is a convicted felon and he can't get into these countries. He probably doesn't even have a fucking passport anymore. So I'm sitting here going, this ain't no strongman stuff. This is he literally has like a virtual fucking or an imaginary tracker, ankle monitor on. Soon as he thinks about leaving the country, we figure he's never coming back, right? Because ain't gonna be no leaving and then come back. He ain't gonna do that. But we have a whole felon on house arrest in the White House. He literally can't go anywhere but like from his office to the kitchen, back to the office. He can go down to Florida, but he can't do nothing else. So this is not all the leaders are coming to the White House to work together and kiss the ring and just show all this adoration and respect to Trump. No. The ankle monitor's going to go off. Excellence. Yeah, that's it.
Raggedy. Okay, until she gets back, I'm going to list and talk about the countries. Let's see. What countries don't allow convicted felons to enter? We're having technical difficulties, so apologies. Argentina, Australia, Canada, China, Cuba, India, Iran, Israel, Japan, Kenya, Macau, New Zealand, South Africa, Taiwan, United Kingdom, and the United States. Weird. What countries will deny entry if it's discovered you're a convicted felon? Brazil, Cambodia, Chile, Dominican Republic, Egypt, Ethiopia, Hong Kong, Indonesia, Ireland, Malaysia, Mexico, Morocco, Nepal, Peru, Philippines, Singapore, South Korea, Tanzania, Tunisia, Turkey, Ukraine, United Arab Emirates. Trump was convicted of 34 felony charges in a scheme to illegally influence the 2016 election through a hush money payment to a corn actor who said the two were intimate. So that's the list there. Hold on, here we go. Welcome back, Miss Kennis.
Yeah. So I guess I need to say something about Trump and his house arrest. Well, first of all, if I were head of state at a lot of these countries, I'm going to start with the countries that Trump in his first administration dubbed shithole countries. He said it. I'm repeating it. I'm not using lascivious language. He said it. I'm using it. If I were head of state of any of those countries, he would not be welcomed in my country anyway. So he wouldn't have to worry about whether he has a monitor or a bracelet or whatever. I don't care. He's not welcome. Then for those states where they have laws because they have integrity, and their laws say you cannot come here because our laws cannot be bent, manipulated, nor fondled in order for you to come in here. Hallelujah. Praise the Lord. I'm glad he can't get in those either. So, what's left? Well, I don't know if you saw it, but in the last 48 hours, the DRC reached out to Trump and said, we have approximately $20 trillion worth of natural resources and minerals, etc., etc. And we will give you access to our $20 trillion worth of resources, minerals, etc. We will open it up to you.
Who is that?
The DRC.
You're cutting out.
The DRC.
Oh, DRC. Okay.
So, first of all, I want to go and pimp slap the president for even coming up with that crazy idea. If you want somebody to do something, and what he's asking for is to give access to the United States in exchange for the United States committing to provide them military security. He wants a guarantee of security for his country. But you got some brothers on the west coast of Africa who are doing amazing things. And they would not have a problem to the extent that they need funding, receiving funding from their fellow countrymen for providing security. There have been about 5 assassination attempts on the young brother in Burkina Faso. And they've all been interceded. So what makes this man think that the United States cares that much about a bunch of black people in a country other than, hey, we're going to roll up in there, get all your resources, and roll on out? that might be the only country where Trump can go on up in there, a felon, and be welcomed with open arms.
And on that, I want to play a couple of clips from the Sunday show where we're still in the midst of fighting with Chuck Schumer. And you guys out there in the audience, let us know what you think of what's going on with Chuck Schumer. Now, he was really, really defiant today, and there's only 2 short clips I'm going to play, and I want to get your thoughts on the other side of this.
Shutdown, that it would be, there'd be a lot of controversy.
Because of your decision.
Okay, so I made a mistake on that one, but this is another one with the fuller statement from him, and I was just like, I mean, I'm trying to keep my peace here, but I want that we'll have to have context, so that's why I'm going to play this clip, and I'll get your thoughts on the other side.
This is an extraordinary moment. It does require extraordinary action. If he defies the Supreme Court, then we are in uncharted territory that we haven't been in for a very long time. And our entire democracy, this whole beautiful enterprise of democracy that we've had for over 240 years, is at risk. And look, I believe that if Donald Trump should defy the courts, the public will rise up. Democrats will fight it in every single way. And I believe, autocrats only succeed, Kristen, if the public lets them. But if the public is so angry and takes action, and certainly we Democrats will, it will trigger a mass movement from one end of the country to the other, something that we haven't seen in a very long time. Look.
So he's expecting the public to do the job that he's supposed to be doing, because the public has already voted, done their due diligence and voted.
Yeah. And they sent him a message. The House sent him a message, and Senate sent him a message. Day 1 of 2 days, he was going to vote against and force their hand. The day of the election, he changes his mind and he rolls on over to the other side of the aisle and he stands with them and he votes with them. The man is in his 80s. He's a multimillionaire and he needs to go on, resign right now and go, out and market his book. Me, I wouldn't buy it. If I bought it, I'd just go out in my backyard and set it on fire and have a small bonfire. I think he's useless. So what I'm going to say is, I'm going to sum this up real easy. AOC for Senate.
Hold your thought, because you're pausing again, and while you're refreshing, I'm going to play this clip of another friend of yours, actually. I want to get your response on this.
Do I have to say AOC for Senate again when you come back?
You can. Where everyone should be seen and heard. Yes, please say that. Especially, hold on a second.
TikTok supports white supremacy, and if you ever wonder why, the Democratic Party's ratings are at an all-time low, even though conservatives are currently destroying the country. This is James Clyburn saying that they're going to initiate Jim Crow 2.0 if elected into office, but this is also him.
Do you think that President Biden should pardon Donald Trump? And if so, why?
Yes, I do think so. And I think he should pardon all of those people that have been accused and have been targeted so that we can clean the slate.
And then what did they proceed to do after they won? Your ratings are so low and going to get lower because you're going to re-elect him and you're going to elect people just like him, which means that this cycle of white supremacists getting into the presidential office is just going to continue. And what's sad is that a lot of you Democrats and liberals are going to be more mad at me saying this than you are at the Democratic politicians that are allowing this to happen. You have a good one, though.
That was Evan with 2 N's on TikTok, so you guys go follow him on his socials. But what are your thoughts there, Miss Kennis? And the only reason I was cutting you off a little bit was because you were buffering, but that was actually added context to what we were talking about with Schumer because they're out of touch. That's, kind of what you were saying.
Mm. So, if I got this right, Clyburn supports Biden pardoning everybody? Was that what he was saying? Okay.
Yep.
You know what? Having had experiences with James Clyburn before, I'm not surprised. He is a Uncle Tom sellout. We tried to get him to take H.R. 40 to the floor for debate, and he absolutely dug his heels in and refused. He's an Uncle Tom sellout. He likes to be seen walking up and down the halls with the likes of Nancy Pelosi, exuding the message that I'm one of them. Look at me, look at me. So I'm not surprised at what he said, and I won't be surprised at anything that he advocates for. Now, since you played Chuck Schumer is out of touch. Clyburn is out of touch, and they're enticed by what goes in their war chest. Clyburn is like one of the top 5 highest fundraisers in the House. I think Pelosi is number 1. I think Hoyer might be number 2. I think Clyburn is number 3. So they bring in all the money every time. Clyburn does a fish fry every year, and everybody waits with bated breath to see if they're going to get an invitation to his fish fry. Those are the things that are important to them. So if I'm going to have 100 senators, one of whom is Chuck Schumer, then I say, Chucky baby, step down and let AOC take over. I would vote for her in a minute. She's young, but she's got lots of energy, and she has tenacity. And I yield my time.
AOC, speaking of AOC, she and Bernie have been all over the place this week, for the whole weekend. Let's see, AOC and Bernie. So they were on tour going to the all of the red state town halls.
They weren't even town halls.
They were holding rallies.
They were holding rallies. And Trump should feel bad because they were pulling down almost 40,000 people.
Mm.
I mean, it was
so what do you think of that? At least they were trying.
I think that it's not that at least they're trying. I think they're doing what the Democrats need to do and are not doing. When you hold a town hall meeting and you're sitting in this little library room where only about 45 people can get in there, maybe you're in a gymnasium where 75 people can get in there, but you got 100, 200 people outside who can't even get in, then you are upset when the ones who are in there boo and shout you down. Well, if you were in a space where there were 40,000 people, you can gauge whether you're doing a good job or not. Those 40,000 people did some amazing receiving of Bernie and AOC. And AOC did something that just blew me away. She came on the stage and she said, I need you all to do one thing for me. Look around you. Find somebody you do not know, and before you leave here today, you make sure you now know one person you didn't know when you came in here, and you are connected to them. And that's what we're trying to do. Young sisters, okay with me?
Rebuilding. And on that, I'm going to play a good news for us going out. And we'll keep following up on the AOC and Bernie tour and rallies that they're doing also. But I wanted to close this out because my new joy is, regardless of how much money he still has, just watching the Tesla tanks just go down. That's just my new joy, is just watching billionaires lose money. I know it's not enough, but it still gives me like a little spark of joy. And I'm going to play this. I want to play this Tesla takedown video because knowing how much it bothers him, that's actually what tickles me.
Tonight, more turmoil for Tesla. CEO Elon Musk live streaming an all-hands meeting Thursday, trying to reassure his employees as Tesla stock tumbles amid a Tesla takedown protest movement against the company.
If you read the news, it feels like, Armageddon. I understand if you don't want to buy our product, but you don't have to burn it down. That's a bit unreasonable, Stop being psycho.
The company that helped make Musk the wealthiest person in the world, now a target, seen by some as a way to demonstrate against Musk's politics and growing role in the Trump administration.
How are you feeling right now in this moment as a Tesla owner?
Embarrassed. I love the cars, and I really wish I could keep them, but I just can't be associated with that brand anymore.
Edward Sanchez says he's looking to sell his Tesla after also just dumping all 150 shares of his Tesla stock. And he's not alone. Data from car shopping website Edmunds reporting that this month has seen the highest ever share of Tesla owners trading in their vehicles.
Why do you think going after Tesla is the way to really get at and go at Elon Musk?
It's my only way, right? It's the only thing I have. You just want to distance yourself.
But some taking the protest even further. Nationwide and even in Canada, multiple reports of Teslas being vandalized, some lit on fire. In Syracuse, this video showing a masked person defacing Sean Freed's Tesla, writing on it, "This car supports Nazis."
Protesting is a right that we all have, but destroying other people's property is not.
President Trump today warning there will be no leniency and no pardons for those behind these attacks, suggesting it's worse than the January 6th Capitol riot.
These are terrorists. You didn't have that on January 6th, I can tell you. You didn't have anything like that on January 6th.
And Liz, any evidence that these attacks might be coordinated?
Well, despite claims, Lester, from Elon Musk and President Trump that they are, NBC News has spoken to law enforcement officials and domestic extremism experts who say that there is no evidence that they are coordinated. There are organized protest efforts, but those groups have disavowed vandalism and violence, Lester.
Okay, Liz, thank you.
And I'll say again. Go ahead, you say it.
So I have a couple of things I want to say.
Okay.
First of all, March 29th is Jasmine Crockett's birthday. She made a statement that the best birthday present she could get would be to see Elon Musk taken down. The comments that have been posted since she made that statement let me know that this country is as racist as it has ever been. The comments let me know that the rednecks are alive and kicking. The comments let me know that the purple states are still carrying the red states. Some of the comments were they called her a piece of trash who needed to be removed from office. Whore trash who needed never to have been elected. Whore trash that's an embarrassment to the great state of Texas. Hell, oh Lord, excuse me, Jesus, you're going to have to cut that one out. The greatest embarrassment to the great state of Texas, as far as I am concerned, is their history of enslavement. That's the greatest embarrassment. So as far as I am concerned, they started then calling for her to be accused of domestic terrorism. And that she should be removed. So I'm going to call a couple of names. Clay Higgins of Louisiana. He still gets reelected every year, and the man is indeed an avowed racist redneck. Steve King, who used to be there, they just got to the point they couldn't even tolerate his racism any longer, so he had to go. And the last thing I'm going to say is to all of you all out there listening, Elon Musk is just a person with a green card, just like Patel, who's in some detention center somewhere, and his wife is probably in labor because she was already 8 months pregnant. He's a Joe Blow citizen, just like the rest of us. He's worse than I am. He got a green card. I think every single one of us should lodge a campaign and demand access to the cabinet meetings. He goes into every single cabinet meeting, but he's just a regular person. Why can't we go in those cabinet meetings? Nobody has ever even entertained that. I think that we, the people, need to begin to do some civil disobedience. We need to call our elected officials and our senators, and we need to say, if Elon Musk can go in the cabinet meetings, we want to go in the cabinet meetings also. And last thing, call Jasmine Crockett on March 29th and wish her a happy birthday.
Happy early birthday, Miss Crockett. Ooh, hold on, let me play the audience. That's our call to order. I mean, call to action. But Miss Kennis gave us some ideas of good trouble. Good trouble. Don't do any, terrorist acts. We do not. Yeah.
You should be able to be sitting in those
civil disobedience.
Sit in the cabinet meetings. If he can sit in there, he have a green card. Y'all don't have green cards. You should be able to sit in those cabinet meetings also.
That is our right now constitutional right.
Absolutely.
Although they're trying their best to make it. I mean, I remember witnessing the government here in Tennessee. They were trying to remove the duly elected Justins from the chambers. It's like the Justins, he has an office there. The people, his constituents, voted him in. And they were turning his mic off. They were locking his doors. They were like shutting the elevator on him and stuff like that. So, I mean, we have to do what we can.
So, do you know, I believe that the only thing that saved them was the same things they were being accused of. The Euro-American woman was doing the same thing, and she spoke up and said, well, I'm just as guilty as they are, but you've not come after me. Is it because I'm a white woman?
Yeah.
Kudos to her for standing up for them, but here we go again. And with this Jasmine Crockett thing, she's a piece of trash. She's a whore trash. She's trash whore, whatever the case. All she said was her greatest birthday present would be to see Elon Musk be taken down. Now they're saying, well, that meant that she was putting a contract out on him. She didn't put no contract out on him. Shoot, I said that about my daughter's father.
That is just like how they try to use anti-Semitism, which they have ruined, because that's their way of trying to shut people up. Mm-hmm. It's like when she's saying what she's saying and she meant what she said. They want to shut her up and then claim, oh, she's a terrorist. She put and the only reason that kind of works is because they're right-wing billionaire oligarchs that are Nazis and fascists own all of the media space, and that they have these platforms that they could get that messaging out before, the logical messaging comes behind. You know what I'm saying? Like, does that make any sense?
Yep. And part of it is, as long as they can talk about crazy stuff like that, then the issues with people like the brother Khalil, who was snatched, and they have practiced at it. They've snatched our ancestors for hundreds of years, who was snatched in the presence of his very pregnant wife. Well, nobody's paying any attention to that. Nobody's paying attention to the fact that Israel is back out there killing the Palestinians. The numbers are now up to 50,000 killed, and that's in about a week. So they've killed about, one way or the other, either they lied or it's fuzzy math. They said 45 when the ceasefire came, and then today they said 50,000. So in about a week, they've killed 5,000 people, and nobody
And
is
that was
talking
there
about
was supposed to be a ceasefire. It
And
was
that was
supposed to be a
supposed to,
ceasefire. To
well, Israel said, we are going to ceasefire. You give us back our hostages. Well, there was a little bit of a breakdown. Hamas was like, okay, we working on it. Israel said, no, you're not working fast enough. We want our hostages. Okay, you don't want to give us our hostages? We'll show you what we're going to do. So they ramped up their attack efforts, and now it's looking like, 5,000 more dead. And that was intentional. I don't care what anybody says. It was intentional, because the least little thing would then cause them to jump back into attack mode and fight, so that they can say to Trump, see, we helping you get Trump Gaza Trump Plaza, whatever it is he's trying to call it. And we said no here being detracted, because the messages on college campuses, we gonna shut y'all down. We taking back everybody's degrees. We taking back our funding, and y'all can't make it without our funding. And even if you graduate people, they're not going to have degrees, because we are going to make sure that we strip them of everything to include their degrees. So parents are like, oh, wait a minute. I ain't spending all this money for my child to go there, come out and have nothing. So baby, look, John boy, go there and behave yourself. Keep your head down and stay out of trouble.
Thank you for sharing, and we will continue to talk about this. So please do not forget to thumbs up our video, like, share, comment, donate, and support us. We also have merchandise. If you would like to make a one-time donation, that's also very welcome. And Miss Kennis, show off your earrings one more time. I got little ones. My little
I
ones.
like little ones. No. I can't handle little ones. I gotta have something like this.
Thank you for joining, and I can't wait to see the next pair of earrings you're going to have on. So we will see you guys on the next one. Yes, you got to keep us on our toes.
That's right. You'll see.
Okay,
right.
bye-bye. Oh, and happy early birthday to Miss Crockett.
Absolutely. Don't forget. Jasmine Crockett, March 29th.